Hey guys, Jafar here. This video is going to be on showing you the stats, costs and attachments of rifles in Rust and the effectiveness of them in PvP situations. Rifles in Rust are very powerful weapons and will be used around mid-stage to end-game stage of Rust. Rifles in Rust is the main type of weapon you will be using throughout most of the time playing Rust. Rifles can cater to really any distance depending on which weapon you have. Even an AK or an LR can do medium to close and a bolt can do from medium to far, same as the semi-auto rifle. So those will be the rifles we are talking about today, the AK, the LR, the bolt and the semi-auto rifle. So let's get straight into it, and we're going to be starting off with the AK, seeing as it's been in the game for so long now, and it is just mainly the main weapon in Rust right now, as it's a craftable rifle and it's a very good craftable rifle. The capacity of an AK is 30 bullets. The ammo type for an AK can cater all 5.56 ammo types, and the range for the weapon is also a medium, but it can also be used up close and can be tap fired at quite a long range. The damage given from an AK is 100 health to the head, 51 HP to the chest, 11 HP to the arms, and 11 HP to the legs. And may I just note, all these damages in the video will be applied to nakeds. The cost of an assault rifle is 50 high quality metal, 200 wood, 1 rifle body, and 4 metal springs. These components can be found in rad towns and in crates around the world, but it's quite expensive seeing as it requires a rifle body. The AK out of all the other rifles has the most recoil and it is the hardest to control. You really do not want to be moving side to side when shooting that AK and getting that moving penalty because your aim will be everywhere. The AK needs to be crouched with to have proper accuracy if you are going to be spraying. You can always apply some attachments to the weapon which will help reduce recoil, making it much easier to fight people with in combat. My recommended attachments from the AK can vary depending on which situation you are choosing to be in. Seeing as it's so high with recoil, you can always put a muzzle brake on and a laser sight to help reduce that recoil a lot, and it will help it reduce it a lot. If you're going to be going outside more, and you're going to be getting into medium range engagements, you want to pick the silencer and the laser sight because these will help reduce the recoil still, but not as much as the muzzle brake and the laser sight. But the silencer will keep the bullets where you are pointing the gun. The next weapon we're going to be talking about is the LR300 assault rifle. This is the newest rifle into the game and personally it is my favourite. The capacity for the LR300 is 30 bullets. The ammo type for the LR300 is all of the bullet types and the range is medium, but can also be very good at close range, but is not very good at long range at all, even when tapping. The damage for the LR300 is for the head 97, for the chest 36, for the arms 30, and for the legs 10. The LR300 did used to be craftable when it was released, but now the LR300 is not a craftable weapon, so you cannot craft this weapon. You must find it only in airdrops and attack helicopters. So this weapon is not a weapon you will be getting in the start of a game or maybe even the middle of the game. This is an endgame rifle which you will be getting later on when you have more gear and possibly even other rifles like the AK. Unlike the AK, the LR300 has a much lower recoil, but it comes with that higher spread, which means you have to select carefully on what engagements you want to be taking this LR300 with and actually seeing if you have spare weapons with you to engage in longer firefights. The LR300 can also take all weapon attachments, and my recommended weapon attachments for this weapon is the silencer, the laser sight and the hollow sight. Next we'll move on to the bolt action rifle. Unlike the other fully automatic rifles we've just talked about, the bolt action rifle is a single fire rifle which will be great for long range engagements. The bolt action rifle isn't a weapon you'll be taking out alone with. You might have the AK and the bolt action rifle together, so you can use the AK up close and the bolt action rifle for long distances. The capacity for the rifle is 4 bullets. The ammo type is all 5.56 types, and the range is high, so you can engage people from a very long distance away, and even medium distances can work as well, but close range engagements are very bad to get in with a bolt action rifle. The bolt action rifle's damage will be to the head 100, to the chest 92, to the arms 45, and to the legs 40. This makes it a very powerful weapon to have, especially if you get a headshot on an enemy. Even with gear, it can be very high damaging. The crafting for the bolt action rifle is 30 high quality metal, 1 rifle body, 5 metal pipes, and 2 metal springs. The hardest attachment to find out of all of these will be the rifle body. The metal pipes and the springs will be found in barrels around the world and will be much easier to find. Like all the other rifles, all the weapon attachments can go on the bolt action rifle, and my weapon attachment choices will be the 4x scope and the laser sight. The last weapon I will be talking about is the semi-automatic rifle. Like in the name, it is semi-automatic, so it is not a full firing mode weapon. Unlike the other rifles, which are all expensive rifles, the semi-automatic rifle is somewhat of a lower tier rifle. This will mainly be for starting up and getting a quick rifle out of easier parts to acquire. The recoil for the semi-automatic rifle is very low, which is great for if you're going to be shooting people from a longer distance away, so you can easily stay on their body and keep shooting them. But you got to remember, for the semi-automatic rifle, the bullet drop is very high, so you want to be aiming quite up if you're going to be shooting people from a longer range. The capacity for the semi-automatic rifle is 16 bullets, the ammunition is all 5.56 rifle ammo, and the range is long, and it can also be used medium to close range engagements. The damage from the semi-automatic rifle to the head is 85, to the chest is 60, to the arms is 40, and to the legs is also 40. The reason why this weapon is much easier to obtain when in the starting game of Rust is the components requiring to craft it. This weapon only requires 1 semi-automatic rifle body, 1 metal spring, and 450 metal fragments. Like all the other rifles we've talked about, they all require 1 rifle body, which is very hard to obtain, but a semi-automatic rifle body is much easier to obtain and get through barrels and crates. All the attachments can also be put on the semi-automatic rifle, and my recommended attachments would be the hollow sight and the laser sight, and possibly a muzzle boost, depending on your situation. So there we have all the rifles in Rust currently, which included the AK, the LR, the bolt action rifle, and the semi-automatic rifle. Overall, if you are looking for a rifle to obtain, I would recommend going with the AK. Being the most flexible rifle out of all of them, where you can actually craft it and it will still output a high damage. But all of these rifles work best in their own situations and their own environment. So pick the weapon that will work best with the range you're wanting to be fighting at and the situation you're going to be going into. But the AK is definitely an overall very good weapon to pick if you do not know what's going to be going on. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my channel and has got it this far to the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.